Hello, I am Rachel Fialco and I am a somatic sexologist. I did a sexological body worker training in the UK, and Julian Marcus was and still is my teacher and mentor throughout that process. I was living in the UK at the time, but I am now living in the US and I'm from the US. The reason I took this training is because throughout my own personal journey with my sexuality, coming from the US, it's more conservative and sex is a taboo subject that nobody talks about. Sex education is lacking here, sure, as many places around the world. People don't get proper sex education, don't know about their bodies. They're very disconnected from their sexuality. So I was always very interested in sexuality and wanted to know more about it and why it was such a taboo or shameful topic. And so I found out about this training, and I have a background of psychology. I have a master's in psychology, so I knew I wanted to work with people in some way, and I had heard a lot of stories from friends and from people throughout my life about their struggles with intimacy and with sex and not enjoying it or not having the type of sex that they want to have, or, various traumas and things like that that prevent them from fully being able to experience pleasure in the type of sex that they want to have, and with nowhere to turn and not really knowing where to look for answers. And when I discovered this training, I was really inspired to learn more, to be able to help other people and myself with questions and difficulties they may have regarding their sexuality and intimacy with themselves and their partners. Julian was my direct mentor. He was my pod leader, so I interacted with him the most throughout the training. We would have weekly calls, and then any time I needed help with any questions, and they were happy to help. And then during our live trainings, the same thing. And so he's really knowledgeable, and I really appreciated the support that he gave me throughout this process. Another area that Julian really helped me with during live trainings was doing mapping. I was really nervous to touch and be touched by my classmates during the training, and Julian, just having Julian there and having him lead me as my mentor made it more comfortable and made it more relaxing for me, knowing that he was right there, able to answer questions and guide us and actually show us and demonstrate exactly what we needed to do. And whenever we needed help, he was right there to answer questions. One other thing that I found really amazing was his knowledge of body poem and being able to lead through body poem and body focusing. The way that he breaks the process down is really helpful and was able to expand upon the teaching that we had in person and over Zoom to help us play the client role and also be the practitioner role when necessary. And I found that really, really helpful. What I found really surprising and fulfilling and rewarding during the process of my sexological body worker training was the growth and the evolution of my connection and my relationship with my own body and my sexuality, which I wasn't expecting to be able to learn so much more about myself and things that I never thought of, never knew, expanding on how I experience pleasure, in addition to how I give pleasure to partners, and being able to gain confidence by experiencing it myself and then being able to explain to other people how it works. I found that to be really surprising and a rewarding experience. Another thing I loved about this training was that, coming from a background of psychology and being able to work with clients one way, this brought a coaching aspect into it as well. Working with Julian allowed me to learn a structure for my sessions that was client led, but still enabled me to provide structure in a way that was safe and ethical for the client to take them on a beautiful journey, which allowed them to want to come back because they also participated in co-created educational goal that we set up throughout the session, which allowed them to feel like they were in control of what was happening in the session and it wasn't me telling them what to do. So that was really helpful for me and gave me confidence, as well as made my sessions more effective for my clients.